Hello and welcome to Undead Gaming News, your one-stop shop for all things gaming. I'm your host Zombie, and first up this week, Ubisoft has announced plans to shut down online services for nearly a dozen of their games. In a new post on Ubisoft's support site, the publisher confirmed plans for decommissioning online services for 10 old games. Ubisoft further added that shutting down servers for old games is a choice that they don't make lightly. However, they also added that it's a necessity as the technology behind those services becomes outdated. The games will lose online functionality on January the 25th, 2024, and those games are Assassin's Creed 2 on Xbox 360, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood on the Mac, Assassin's Creed Liberation HD on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, Assassin's Creed Revelations on the PC, Ghost Recon Future Soldier on PC, Heroes of Might and Magic 6 on PC, NCIS on PC, Splinter Cell Conviction on the Xbox 360, Ruse on PC, and Trials Evolution on PC. Once online features are shut off for those 10 games, users will no longer be able to play online multiplayer, link accounts, or collect Ubisoft Connect rewards for the affected titles. If it seems odd that some of these older games are only being shut down on certain platforms and not others, it should be noted that over the last few years, Ubisoft has killed the online services for some of these titles already on different platforms. But that's not all from Ubisoft either, as Skull and Bones has also been pushed back yet again, most recently slated for a 2023 release following a closed beta phase that ran through the summer. A Ubisoft earnings call revealed that it's not scheduled until early 2024. If you've been following the Skull and Bones development cycle, this news may not be surprising at all at this point, as the game entered development all the way back in 2013. It wasn't even officially revealed until 2017, and received a mixed response. It's gone dark for long periods of time since that reveal, but the most recent 2023 release date looked pretty locked in due to the closed beta that ran earlier this year. However, Ubisoft announced to its investors that it will now be hitting retail during the first quarter of 2024. There was also a mention of an unspecified big game being delayed on the same earnings call, leading to some speculating that it's going to be the upcoming open world game Star Wars Outlaws. However, nothing has been confirmed on that front. As for Skull and Bones, let's hope 2024 will be smooth sailing. Also in the news, GTA Online will soon stop supporting certain versions of Microsoft Windows as soon as next year. The change will come into effect on the 30th of January 2024, at which point users of Windows 7 and 8 will no longer be able to enjoy GTA Online, unless of course you upgrade your operating system. Announcing the news, Rockstar said, "In light of Microsoft's end of support for Windows 7 and Windows 8 operating systems, Rockstar games will no longer officially support these operating systems beginning January 30th, 2024. To prevent any future interruptions of service and ensure continued access to the latest platform features, we recommend Windows 7 and 8 users upgrade to a supported operating system as soon as possible." It will certainly affect a sizable chunk of the player base, as it was reported back in 2021 that over 100 million PCs were still using Windows 7, but there's no figures currently available for 2022 or 2023 to the same effect, but that number will have likely fallen since 2021, but it's still incredibly likely that there's millions of Windows 7 users, with many more using Windows 8. However, in other news, Remedy has provided an update on its several upcoming titles, including Control 2 and the Max Payne remakes. In a note to investors, the Finland-based developer provided new information on the 4 titles that it's currently working on. When talking about Control 2, they said, "Control 2 continues in the proof of concept stage. The plans for this sequel are ambitious and we have seen good progress in both the designs and in the game build. We will continue at this stage for the next few quarters. We focus on proving the identified key elements before moving on to the next stage, and scaling up the team." And when talking about Max Payne, they said, "Max Payne 1 and 2 remake progressed into the production readiness stage. We have gained clarity on the style and scope of the game, and we have an exceptionally well-organised team working on it. With these accomplishments, we are excited about the project and its future success." The Max Payne remakes are of course a co-production with Rockstar Games, who of course owns the Max Payne IP, and are of course the developers of the third game in the series. Remedy also provided insight into Condor and Codename Vanguard, 2 titles that the company has spent little time speaking about publicly, stating, "Condor, a cooperative multiplayer game, has progressed from the proof of concept to production readiness stage. We have acquired valuable insights into developing service-based games and are now in a better position to create a game players can engage with for years." In Codename Vanguard, we are defining the next stages of the project with our publishing partner. At the same time, the project is aiming towards completing the proof of concept stage by the end of the year. Little is known about Vanguard beyond its title, but Remedy is currently hiring for the project. In other news, we have an update on the upcoming James Bond game from Hitman developer IO Interactive, currently named Project 007. According to the studio's CEO, it's the ultimate spycraft fantasy, as when speaking about the project, CEO Hakan Abran stated, "It's been pitched as the ultimate spycraft fantasy, which suggests gadgets, and perhaps a step away from the murderous objectives of Agent 47. IO Interactive has previously revealed that Project 007 won't be based on any of the James Bond actors, and it will be the studio's own digital Bond, and it's inspired by the entire film franchise. We also know, thanks to a job listing from 2021, that the project is likely going to be a third-person action game, which isn't too dissimilar to IO's previous work on the Hitman series. However, in other news, Sony has announced it's entered into an agreement to acquire UK-based company iSIZE, which specialises in deep learning for video delivery. iSIZE builds AI-powered solutions to deliver bitrate savings and quality improvements for the media and entertainment industry. The cost of the buyout hasn't been revealed due to contractual commitments, but the acquisition is designed to provide Sony with significant expertise in applying machine learning to video processing, which will benefit a range of their R&D efforts, as well as their video streaming services. PlayStation Plus Premium currently provides an option to stream PlayStation 3 games, and recently members at the top tier also gained the ability to stream PS5 games. It seems this purchase will aid Sony's efforts in that field. As for our final story this week, a design filed by Nintendo has been found and shared online that shows a dual-screen gaming device that can be split into two. This filing was made in November of last year, but was made public recently. Images of this device show a handheld apparatus not too dissimilar to the Nintendo 3DS. Unlike the 3DS, however, this device can be split in half to allow wireless gaming between two players. It appears to be a handheld machine only, with no hybrid capabilities. Additionally, the top screen can face out, this is even when the device is closed. The full description of Nintendo's recent filing says, "This electronic apparatus comprises a first device and a second device. The first device and second device can be detachably attached to each other. The first device has a first surface and a first display and a first connection unit, which are positioned on the first surface. The second device has a second surface, a second display that is positioned on the second surface, a second rear surface that is on the reverse side from the second surface, and a second connection unit that is positioned on the second rear surface. The second connection unit can be connected to the first connection unit in a first orientation or in a second orientation. That is the reverse from the first orientation, when in a first connection state in which the second connection part has been connected to the first connection part in the first orientation. The second rear surface is positioned so as to cover the first display, when in a second connection state in which the second connection part has been connected to the first connection part in the second orientation. The second rear surface is positioned so as to not cover the first display. It seems very unlikely that the filing has anything to do with Nintendo's Switch successor, considering the current suggestion is that we'll be seeing some new hardware sometime next year. Design filings are often revealed but never come to fruition, so do take this one with a pinch of salt. But that's all we have time for this week. If you have any thoughts on anything discussed this week, please leave it in the comment section below as always, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.